So hello everybody and welcome to day 24 of Freedom from Anxiety in Uncertain Times. And if you are here, do say hello. So today I'm going to continue the theme from yesterday and the invitation to really listen to that deeper unfolding within you and to put aside any expectations of how that should look. So because it's when we stop with the judgment and our expectations aren't being met that we can find our inner freedom. So that's where peace and acceptance lie, is in the lack of judgment and allowing whatever is here to be here, knowing that you're okay inside regardless of what's showing up. When you really see that your okayness is within you, then you also see and feel and experience that you have all the resources that you need inside you to show up and navigate your way through whatever is showing up in your life. So when this happens, you kind of drop out of your thinking, drop into what is, and then you have an experiential sense and feeling of your inner security, your inner well-being, your true nature, and you start to get a sense for the love that you are, and that we all are. And you know at that point that, hi Rose, whatever circumstances show up in your life, you're going to be okay. Because your okayness and your enoughness lies inside. So this exploration is all about connecting you back with your true nature and the universal, infinite intelligence that you have within you. What we don't know is that we have access all the time to the wisdom of the ages. We just didn't learn how to tap into it. So we're learning in this exploration how to make our decisions from that deep inner place, from connecting with our true selves. And we're learning to make that our inner compass, and we're learning to have that become our inner reference point, I suppose. Because there's nothing better than knowing inside yourself. Now, we all know this. I mean, a great example of this is when we go to the doctor. And the doctor might say something to you, but you have a sense that I know my body better than anybody else. And it doesn't matter what the doctor says, I know my body. It's a knowing. So that's the kind of knowing, I suppose, that I'm talking about over this month. Now, I've been using various metaphors to point to this, and I'll continue to use them, pointing to the inner resources that are available to all of us, each and every one of us, and pointing to those inner resources that can't be damaged and can't be taken away. Now, when we experience that connection for ourselves, we feel the well-being and we feel the freedom from insecurity. When we don't feel that connection, it's still there, it doesn't go anywhere, but at that point we're caught up in our insecurities, and we're also caught up in misidentifying who we are, because we've started to identify with the thinking that's going on. That's it. There's never anything more than that going on. That's really it. And when we know that, so when we know that that's going on, then we don't even have to worry about it, because it becomes not a problem when we feel sad or angry or anxious or insecure or any of those feelings that are in our rainbow that we don't particularly like. Every single one of us can probably relate to that. So we're in our final week with these Facebook Lives, and you know, as I said, the invitation is to continue to listen really deeply to that place within you, to listen for the love that's in your heart, to listen for the love of who you are, to that inner knowing and your intuition, your wisdom, your common sense, whatever it is, whatever name you use for that feeling. the name just isn't important. So to continue to listen deeply and to follow it. And also to let go of any ideas that you're not doing this right. You know, that you haven't come far enough, you haven't gotten enough out of, the exploration. Whatever those misidentifications are, and we all have them. So there's an opportunity to take all that off the table, which is wonderful. And then we can really be here in this experience, whatever it is, knowing that there's unfolding happening. Knowing that that unfolding is going to happen in whatever time frame it's meant to happen in, not whatever time frame we've put on it, regardless of how it looks on the outside right now. And it may very well look like there isn't any unfolding happening. So if it looks like that, I really want to encourage you to not know, because to really understand that you don't know what's unfolding. None of us do. And you don't need to know. And that's fine. So I'm going to share a little story about how this occurred for me very recently. In the last few weeks, I got a call from a client of mine, and they wanted me to do a piece of work for them. It was a workplace investigation, and they were having problems with an employee, and they wanted to get to the bottom of it. Now, I have to be honest and say that the first day I got this call, I was kind of thinking, something's not right. An expression I use sometimes is, it stinks out loud. And I wasn't sure whether it stunk out loud because I was in my head about it, or whether there actually was a stink off of it. So I listened to what was going on and made some notes and sent the client a list of what they needed to send me before I could do this. So kind of preliminary investigation stuff to see what was going on, and for me to get a sense of what was happening and where we needed to go. Now, up here in my head, my little ego was thinking, no, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to do another investigation. It has really taken me back into a negative space, and I wish this wasn't happening. I wasn't accepting it. And I felt like I was procrastinating, because they were sending me in bits and pieces from the list that I had sent them. And this was going on over a 2 or 3 week period. And every couple of days I'd get a call to say, can we pull the trigger now? Can we send out a meeting invitation to start this investigation now? This is taking too long. And I could hear the frustration in their in what was going on for them, understandably, and they were a bit caught up in it themselves. But I found that my own answers were, when they'd call to say, can we send the letter now? Can we start now? Can we hit go now? My response was, no, the time isn't right. No, I don't have enough information yet. The information was coming in, and I had 60%, 70%, 80%, and the more they gave me and the more I stalled the process, the more frustrated they were becoming. So when we were at about kind of 85%, they were like, really, Jen, can we just get this going? We gather up the rest of the bits once we get into motion, but we really need to get moving on this. And I was kind of going, no, guys, until I have all the pieces of the puzzle, then we're not moving forward. So you're just going to have to hold tight until it comes through. So a few days later, the final few pieces of information came through, and guess what? They changed everything. The entire picture changed. That's what was unfolding. But I had no idea. So even although, my personal thinking was telling me that I didn't want to do it, and I was procrastinating and I wasn't accepting, there was this unfolding happening. The intelligence of life was unfolding and playing out, and I didn't know. So that investigation is not going to happen now. Instead, we're going to go forward with a mediation. And a mediation is a lovely space to be in, because it brings people back together. And in my experience, investigations rarely do that. So it's just, a good example, I think, that shows how, my experience of this was going up and down and all over the place in my head. But the unfolding was happening anyway. I just didn't know. And it didn't unfold in the way that I thought it would. Or, I had expectations about what information was going to come through and what that was going to mean and how it was all going to play out. And it didn't happen. So it was a great reminder for me. So, it was a little blind spot for me, I suppose. But, we can let go of expectation. because the unfolding is going to happen on its own. The intelligence that's behind all life, the intelligence that we see in nature, is unfolding, and that's what's most important. And another way to say that is, we're all growing in consciousness. It's just part of our design. We can't help it. We can't not grow in consciousness, and we can't not wake up to who we are. We're all on the same journey as human beings, and that journey is finding our way home to our true nature and the love that we really are. And we don't need to worry about it, because it's taken care of, it's happening, and it's unfolding in the way that it's meant to. So what's left? What's left is to experience peace and freedom and enjoyment even on that journey to find our way home. Now, sometimes that can be in the midst of circumstantial chaos. Sometimes it can be in the midst of pain and suffering. And sometimes it can be in the midst of bliss, beauty, and peace. But it doesn't matter. We get whatever life throws at us, because the universal intelligence behind life is what's in control, not our personal mind. So what's behind the unfolding is the unfolding of us, the unfolding of who we really are. And it's all about learning to trust that the unfolding is happening, regardless of what might be going on in our own personal minds. And it takes us right back to keeping an open mind and an open heart and a willingness to see that maybe it doesn't work the way we always thought. So that's the message for today. And before I go, I'm going to just read you a little ditty that I came across myself this morning, and it just really touched me, so I'm just going to read it to you. And it says, I sat down with a cup of tea and I spent some time with my best friend and beloved soulmate. That's what I call this amazing body that carries my soul around. And the essence of our conversation went like this. I've missed you, dear friend. I lost my way for a bit, and now I'm home again with you. I see I am never alone. I have this amazing best friend who always has my back. That friend is pure, unconditional love, wisdom, forgiveness, strength, and compassion. How very blessed I am to have a friend like you. And we all have this friend. So that's it, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. I do have a guest tomorrow, so I won't be on my own. Hi, Louisa. Lovely to see you. So till then, much love and have a great day. Bye-bye.